types of voices, and these voices are very strong. I'm going to list them in order of superiority. The first type of voice is the voice of nature. Each of these voices I'm about to list, in it is life, in it is death. The air has a voice, though it does not speak your language, but it speaks. When there is wind or storm, is the language of the air. It speaks death and violence. It can speak physically, it can also speak spiritually. Somebody is gathering money together. At the end of the day, the person cannot account how he's able to spend the money. The voice of the wind is speaking against that person. The trees has voice as well. In Judges chapter 9 verse 8, the Bible says, and the tree went forth upon a time, and they said to the olive tree, rule thou over us. The tree has utterance, and that was why when Jesus came to a particular tree, he cursed the tree. The reason why he cursed the tree was not because the tree cannot bear fruit. It was not the time for the tree to bear fruit. The Bible stated that the reason why it didn't bear fruit was because it was not yet time for it to bear fruit. So it was obeying the laws of life. So the reason why Jesus cursed the tree was because the tree was a speaking tree. If you are entering into that community, the tree will tell you, you will not prosper here. You will not do evangelism here. You will not win souls here. And Jesus, understanding the voices of nature, speak to the tree and say, no man henceforth eat of thee. It was him trying to silence the voice of that tree. Some of you listening to me, there are evil trees in your family. He's speaking. That is why people within that locality don't prosper. You are doing everything humanly possible to achieve something, yet nothing is working. Any ancient tree speaking against you, I command their voice to be silent forever. The voice of animals. Animals have utterance. They have a voice. That was why it was serpent that spoke to Eve. Satan negotiated the body of a serpent. Satan's language. You see, what language does God speak? What is the language of Satan? God and all spirits, if they want to speak to you, they don't speak in their own language to you. They speak through the voice of nature. They speak through the voice of animals or the voice of man. So the language of God is light. The Bible said he dwelleth in the throne of unapproachable light, that no man will see and will ever see. So when God talks, his language is light. In that light is two elements, spirit and life. The Bible said the words I speak unto you, they are what? Spirit and it's life. So when that light translates into you, come in a language that you understand as a man. It comes as a light interpreted in the utterance of my heart unto my understanding. As a spirit in man, the inspiration of the Lord giveth that spirit understanding of that light he has transmitted as his language. So when the voice comes as a light, I will understand it in the context of my language. So is it that spirit speaks through nature? That's why God, when he's angry, you will see flood. He's speaking. Or he can use an animal to speak. Same thing with Satan. He came to Eve through the utterance of a serpent. That means animals have language. In Numbers chapter 22 verse 28, the Bible says Balaam was riding a ox, and the ox saw an angel and couldn't walk. The animal was speaking, but he wasn't hearing the animal. God had to touch the animal to speak in the language that he will understand. I'm trying to say that animals have utterance, but the superior of all the voices is the voice of man. There are three voices in man. The first voice is the voice of your tongue, and in that voice is life and is death. Proverbs 18:21, it says life and death are in the power of the tongue. So your tongue can either make alive or kill. So you can bring yourself under curse by your voice. You can bring yourself into life by your voice. There's another voice that is stronger than the voice of your tongue. That one is the voice of your heart. In fact, when you are praying, first utterance God hears is your heart. Jeremiah chapter 17 verse 10, he said, I the Lord searcheth all the heart. I try the rails to give to every man according to their doings. When a man is praying, the first thing God listens to is not what he's saying, it's the voice of his heart. That means that I can decide not to talk, and yet I'm praying and God is hearing my voice. Your lips is not the only prayer warrior. Your heart before your lips. That's what the Bible said, I will do exceedingly abundantly above all you ask or what? Think. That means both your thinking and asking are languages that God understands. So it takes what your heart is saying and what your lips is agreeing for you to have your result. God can only do what your heart and mouth has agreed. If you are saying A and your heart is saying B, you can never have the result, because it can only work together except they both what? Agree. God said these people worship me with their lips, but their heart is saying opposite of what they are saying. So I won't come unto them, because their heart is not speaking the same language their utterance is saying. And so someone like David will not tell you a formula. In Psalm chapter 45 verse 1, he said, my heart indite of a good matter. I therefore speak of the things that I have made touching the king. He said, my tongue is the pen of a ready writer. That means my mouth can only say what my heart has said. If my heart has not said it, my mouth cannot say it. Anytime you hear a man talks, his heart has first spoken. Because when your heart is speaking, your mouth is silent. And when your mouth is speaking, your heart is silent. Your mouth is a messenger of your heart. The Bible says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. So before you talk, you have already talked. So I can know what you're thinking in your heart and what you have been saying since what you say. And I say, this has been your thought. So the language of your heart is superior than the language of your tongue. And in that the utterance of your heart is death and is life. Apostle Paul will now say in Romans chapter 8 from verse 5, he says, for the carnally minded is death, but spiritually minded is life. So your heart utterance can bring death. Your heart utterance can bring what? Life. The Bible now said, guide your heart with all diligence. He said, in it comes what? The issues of life. So before the issues come, it first started from your heart, before your mouth now started saying it. If you are with me, say amen. Let me